Hello to my woo homies out there, those of us trying to build a better, freer world. I figured it was a good time to check in. I haven't done this in about a month, probably since the last new moon. And as I'm recording this, the full moon in Aquarius was exact about 20 hours ago or something like that. Yeah, I don't like letting too much time go by between these check-ins, but as those of you who've watched these videos before know, I was getting very similar messages. So we're gonna do a 10-card Golden Dawn deep dive to see what do my woo homies need to know. And as always, I have 3 oracle cards that I have selected. You can pick which ones resonate with you the most, and I will do that at the end. And for those of you paying attention, yes, these are 2 new decks. My total of oracle decks is now at 9. And there's a 10th one that I intend to get probably in about a month or something like that. But regardless, let's jump right into the main dish, which is tarot. Let us cut the deck and see what we got. So the current overall energy is the Page of Swords reverse. This is awesome. I call the Page of Swords the new freshman on campus card, and I can understand how. Okay, I'll start with the optimistic part. What is very optimistic about this card, despite it being reversed, and I'll get to that in a second, is the notion that it indicates a graduation to a new level or a new path opening up to us, which it kind of does feel like that. And the fact that it's reversed, I'm reading, well, whenever the Page of Swords comes up in reverse, I tend to read it the same way, which is the new freshman on campus, but who's feeling insecure. The metaphor I always use is, you graduate top of your high school, but in some small town, and then you arrive in a university in a big city, and now you're kind of insecure that you feel that you don't measure up, things like that. But the optimistic part is that this is an indication that there is opportunity around us. And I just remembered the King of Swords upright jumped out while I was shuffling. So that is further, along the lines of this page here. So the next 2 cards are the Unseen or Hidden Influence, which is, right now, the phrase that's coming to mind with the 6 and 7 of swords, of wands, both reversed, is a hard-fought victory. I'm not sure though. The fact that they're in reverse. Also, we are 3 cards into a 10-card reading, so it's okay that I don't have a clear picture just yet. But one thing is for sure. It doesn't, I can't think of any victories that are above the surface that we can see. So maybe as the reading unfolds, we can get a bit of picture. So let's go to the 2 cards here for the known or seen influence, which is, oh, okay. This reinforces the, what I was saying about the new path opening up. So despite whatever hard-fought victory might be below the surface influencing the present situation, there does feel like there is an opportunity to metaphorically give birth to something and create some abundance. And there is a sense of wondering if there is more, if it's time to put on the gas and actually make something happen to capitalize on this opportunity. So now I'm going to flip over 2 cards for the past, so the outgoing influence, as I like to call it. And once again, we have further indication of, the major transformation represented by the Death card here. The 5 of coins in reverse. It's difficult for me to interpret this. The first instinct that I'm getting is, the hard times. I'm not entirely convinced that the worst is behind us. It would be nice if it was, and that the incoming influence was more optimistic. But right now, I can see that in the past leading up to this point, that there was some kind of transformation from the feeling of being left out in the cold and, for lack of a better term, destitute. I am very eager to turn over the next two cards for the incoming influence or potential future or that kind of thing. For those of you who are not new, who are new to this channel, I cannot predict the future, which puts me in a tricky situation whenever I do readings with future positions. But let's turn over these cards and see. All right, so I'm going to move over the whole thing right here because I don't feel like these oracle cards are barely in frame as they are. So let me just squeeze everything like this. Yeah, that's decent. So the actually, I'm gonna shift these over just a little bit. This is a pretty big spread. I love it a lot. Anyway, there seems to be, I don't know what the fact that this Ace of Swords is reversed means just yet. Like, aces in general are about opportunity, so I can see a potential opportunity coming in. However, there does seem to be a kind of balance that we will have to find. Like, I don't think that I'm reading the reversal of this ace as kind of a dampener. I see whatever opportunity that we can step into from this present moment, from this new level that we're operating at. And another thing that I say a lot, I read aces and pages very similarly, and it is very funny to me to see both of these cards side by side, both reversed. But whatever opportunity is represented by this ace, it's not feeling like a revolutionary make or break thing, but it feels like opportunities to add things to our toolkit and to add things to our ability to create the kind of world that we want to see, you know? I am very tempted to see what the final card is, which is the bridge from the past to the future, which I will lay over the page here, which is the Eight of Swords in reverse. What a fantastic card to have. Let me just flip over the bottom of the deck here. Okay, we'll talk about this Hangman reversed, but one thing that is the most obvious way to read this Eight of Swords reversed as the bridge from the past to the future, given everything else in this reading, is to realize that we actually have flexibility and ability to move around, which is not something we were able to say. And I'm assuming most of the people watching this right now, the move around aspect probably isn't literal, but there is opportunity for, there's opportunity to take more action than we were able to, even as recently as 6 months ago, you know? I think that now that, for those of us who've been paying attention to this series, hopefully, that, you know, we have our finances in order to an extent, and we've been looking for opportunities to build new connections. I see this as grounds to start to wiggle around and use what used to be constraining us as means for our own liberation. And that might be what can turn this transformation into an opportunity to find balance. And now that I'm seeing this, it could be that the balance that we are being invited to manifest with the Temperance card here is that between, for lack of a better term, us and the normies. This is one thing that I say all the time, and I've probably said this many times throughout this series. After you win a war, you have to win the peace. And no matter what side of what issue we've been on these last few years, there are people who are on the other side of that issue. And no matter how that applies to you personally in your life, we will have to figure out a way to live together, because the alternatives are not good at all. And I don't want anything to do with that, you know? So I think that through the relationships which might have been strained, these people haven't gone anywhere, even though we might not talk to them as much as we used to, if at all. They are still around, you know, and through abundance and taking the choice to expand what we were able to do, which nods to both of these cards here. And maybe whatever, maybe the victories, the hard-fought victories were internal. You know, I said a few moments ago, the very recurring message that was coming through when I was doing these readings, which is part of the reason it's been a month since the last time I've done this, which was, you know, get your finances in order, seek for opportunities to create new bonds and new relationships. I think that the fruits of those of us who have been paying attention to who have been focusing on these things have reached a point where they're kind of starting to sprout. And that might be what we can use to create the kind of future that we want. Yeah. Let me reflect on the Hangman for a second here. The simplest way the Hangman reverse makes sense is as a reminder to let go of our need to bring people on board fully. I think if there's one thing that we've learned through these last 2 years is that people, basically everyone has picked their camp and is locked in. And this is another nod to the balance that we will have to find to figure out a way to live together. And I think that a key to remember is after this transformation and with this opportunity to really create something together, that once we decide to leave the castle and actually go out and you know, spread the word, for lack of a better term, but to really bring about this transformation to create the kind of world that we want to see, it's going to involve learning to live with people who were on the other side of an issue that was very dear to us. And I personally have seen several small yet concrete examples of this in the last 5 days, which is promising for me. And I would encourage you to seek that out for yourself as well, to let go of your, because again, and this is true no matter what side of what issue that you are on right now. I don't think anyone will be changing your point of view anytime soon. And that's true of many things. So to sum up this reading, which is very optimistic. Actually, let me give a quick, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 out of 11 cards. So yeah, most of these cards are in reverse, which, given what the actual cards are, isn't particularly worrisome, but it is yet another nod to the fact that whatever we create isn't going to be happening like in the snap of a finger, but there is a lot of hope with this regardless, especially with, you know, the position that we are in now that we are at this new level. So I think this is a nod, first of all, an acknowledgement that there has been a shift, there has been a transformation that has already happened or is still in the process of happening. And as we figure out how to operate at this new level, to just come to a place of compromise so that we can all live together no matter what side of what issue that we've been on this whole time. So yeah, that is a good summary of the tarot portion. Now we're going to go to the oracle card portion. So for those of you who chose the Tao Oracle, your card is, what is this? I fucking hate this font, but I love this deck. It is Discipline. This is I Ching hexagram number 7. Honestly, before I read it, the Tower Oracle is probably my single favorite Oracle deck, but I hate this font with a passion. It's impossible to read. Anyway, the keywords are exert authority, define, it's time to take the bull by the horns, create a strategy, mobilize forces. If this is not a nod to everything that has been discussed in this reading, I don't know what is. I'm especially inspired by it's time to take the bull by the horns and to create a strategy. So again, whatever aha moment is ahead of us, it's not going to be an aha with a capital A, but more like a lowercase a. But with the proper strategy and to take initiative, we can turn this into something really good. For those of you who chose this, the Archetypes Oracle, your card is the Advocate. So let me show you this card here. What I like about these cards is that there's a light attribute and a shadow attribute. I will read both. So the light attribute is inspires you to put compassion into action. And the shadow attribute is embracing negative causes or committing to causes for personal gain. So basically, I think the overall message, given everything that I've said, is to really make sure that, you know, beware of the trap of intellectually telling yourself that you're not trying to persuade people to come on board while deep down in your heart of hearts secretly hoping that it'll happen, and to really come from a place of pure openness as you you know, move around and create what we are trying to create together. And for those of you who chose the Moonology Manifestation Oracle, your card is the Full Moon in Sagittarius, which was last month, I believe. Yeah, no, 2 months ago. Anyway, see the bigger picture. Honestly, it's difficult for me to elaborate on this. I think given the reading that I just gave, the message of see the bigger picture is an invitation to just not get lost in the minutia and to keep the end goal and the big plan in mind as we move forward to create the future that we want to build. So yeah, that was a mic drop right there. Thank you so much for watching. I don't know what to add to this, so I will thank you once again. Let's go out and create the world that we want to live together in. And by together, I mean with everyone. Because we really do have to win the peace if we want to, you know, put a final conclusion to the horrors that we've been subjected to these last 2 years, all right? You take care.